Guys, namaskaram. So in this video, I wanted to talk about basically, I think habits. Sometimes we kind of lose track of them. Why is that the case? So a lot of people who come to me, a lot of my clients, always has this concern that things are going well. We were following a very consistent routine, then things kind of got into our head and we jacked off. So I think in my Hindi channel, I kind of talked about not letting success go to your head. Do check it out. I have a small channel wherein I just solve people's problems. But anyhow, coming back to this video, I think how many of you relate to this experience? You want to do something. mm, Let's say you have planned something that from this day onward, this week onwards, I'll change my life. But before that, let's do this one single party. It wouldn't cost us to just go berserk in our drinking, go berserk partying out, and let's say let's say you're at month one, you're taking some diets. By the third week of month one, you feel okay. Now I've relatively made some good progress, but in the fourth week, you have to go for this little party. You go to that party, and after that, you see that everything kind of goes downhill. Then there are more events coming up, and then all that initial momentum for the first 3 weeks or whatever it could be just has gone to someplace else. Everything in your life has gone haywire. You're back to those same patterns wherein nothing just makes sense, and then you go into that rut of beating yourself up. Because you know what's more painful is you know that you have these goals in front of you and still you're not doing them. Why? Because of your own compulsions, your own petty little habits which drain you down, and just burning away your potential through the fire of your pleasures. So this ends up very bad for a lot of people. So sometimes I think going to an extreme end of isolating yourself from everyone kind of does the job. Because sometimes, let's say if you're in such a rut, being an extremist, though I kind of believe in a balance of sorts in certain things, but sometimes if you see that you're living on one extreme of just being in self-destructive patterns, going to the other extreme of being a very very, you can say, quote unquote disciplined person, can just help you get your life back on track. So there's a very famous saying in psychology, I think in neuroplasticity. It says that when the neurons they that fire together, they wire together. So I think it's also very predominant in the book of Atomic Habits that you stack up your habits. Why? Because one habit kind of leads as a trigger to the next habit and things like that. So sometimes I think just working in environments that kind of help you to develop the type of person that you want to become does a lot of things, because it changes your experiences, your thoughts, your words, and eventually your actions. So sometimes going extreme is one way to fix our life if you're on the other end for far too long. And I think even when we talk a lot about consistency, it's nothing but the act of consistently training your brain, or let's say firing your neurons to adapt to that new pattern, that new way of living. So I think one fundamental thing is probably just having a clear signal, some goals that you push behind, right behind your life, bring them to the forefront. See that these goals determine the rest of my day for today. These goals are my life. Until they get done, I won't do anything else. Then what it helps you to do is it creates a new standard in your brain. For some people, tracking helps. For some people, doing those things and taking them off of a checklist helps. So whatever kind of helps you, just experiment. So in my previous video, I talked about self experimentation. Maybe you can just listen to that as well. But I think once you have a vague list of your goals, and please make sure that they revolve around your curiosity, things that you're genuinely curious about, the desire to explore the unknown. Maybe it could be for gym, for diet, for music, for dance, for knowledge, whatever it is. You can only stick to an extreme behavior if you are genuinely curious about the things that you're doing. A lot of people give up in their habit of fitness because those are picked up from the environment. Let's say a lot of people give up gym because they have just heard about it from their peers. Oh, it's good to exercise. They have heard it from an influencer. Oh, gyms are good, but they haven't experimented with it. They haven't even given a flavor, a taste of that discipline. That's why I think they lose, because every skill, say, even if you want to become a good, relatively good bodybuilder, it takes 3 to 6 months of efforts to kind of reach to that place. And making yourself do something for 3 to 6 months is in itself a very, very big task. So the most important thing is being curious. If you have curiosity towards yoga, if you have curiosity towards other, let's say, fitness forms, I'm using fitness as an example, just invest yourself in that. Don't pick up things from your environment just because your peers are doing so. Find yourself peer groups who are more curious in the things that you really crave for in your heart. Because what happens then is you're driven by a sense of passion, a sense of enthusiasm. So I think, again, in my previous video I talked about this word enthusiasm, which comes from the Greek word enthusiasmos, which means god driven action, a literal translation. So if there's a genuine passion that is driving your goals, you'll see that a lot of outside opinions, some person saying this and that, wouldn't matter, because an intense will to live life in a way that aligns with your own deeper curiosities is the way to opening up a lot of multitudes in your life. And then when these two things combine, you see an impact that you can make in the world. A lot of influencers, let's say fitness, if I have to use the word, they initially started out with their interest of making their body, but over time they saw that they can maybe impact the world through their example, through their discipline, and they created a community around it. And then that drives them, so their passion becomes a purpose of sorts for them. Purpose basically means a thing wherein your actions kind of do a service to the world, contribute something of value. And all of this would be self motivated, then you wouldn't come to these videos, you wouldn't waste your time on a lot of pursuits which don't align with your day to day actions. So I think one of my other deepest belief is integrating your work in life. Like, you love your work so much that it becomes a way of living. Your work becomes your identity, not from that perspective that you're craving the promotions, the big titles, but from another genuine place of interest, wherein even if you're not recognized, at least you lived a life which was true to your heart. So I think that is the center from which I'm kind of coming from, wherein there's just so much joy, so much fulfillment in the type of actions that you do, knowing that these actions can impact you, impact the world in a very, very positive way. That just makes you a beast in a very different way. And reiterating these processes again and again and again kind of leads you to what we call a virtuoso, a master in that field. Because if you read the greats, so let's take Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. He was a great in so many fields, an artist, a scientist, a painter, like so many different fields. The design of the helicopter is inspired by his paintings, the human anatomy. So I think becoming a master of such a sort, wherein just your curiosity, because even for Da Vinci, his curiosity led him to master so many fields. So I think that's a good place to start. And when you come at that space, I think probably your mind also consciously acts as a filter. Okay, like this is the thing that is serving me right now, and this is the thing that is not serving me right now. So I think these are like just certain points which I wanted to share around certain things. Let me know what you feel about it. And let's use this comment section as a diary entry of sorts, wherein you're just typing what are the type of limitations that you break, what is the type of work that you're doing, how you're bettering yourself. So that can just help the community move in a very positive direction. At least that's my aim. Anyhow, let me know what you feel about this video. And until then, this is Debashish Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers. Bye.